Every weapon in history was designed to kill the enemy. The nuclear weapon was designed to make killing the enemy impossible. Not because it was too weak, because it was too strong. These are the 16 weapons that didn't just change warfare. They changed the entire logic of why wars are fought. The originals, Little Boy and Fat Man, August 6th and 9th, 1945, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Little Boy, 15 kilotons. Fat Man, 21 kilotons. Combined death toll, between 129,000 and 226,000 people. But the numbers tell only part of the story. The survivors, the Hibakusha, described a specific psychological phenomenon that had no name before. The experience of watching an entire city cease to exist in a single second. No warning, no enemy soldiers, no battle, just a city, and then not a city. Japan's Emperor Hirohito, announcing the surrender, called the weapon a new and most cruel bomb. He did not call it a weapon of war. He called it something outside that category entirely. The world agreed. The entire architecture of international relations since 1945, every treaty, every alliance, every proxy war, was built around the simple fact that these two bombs changed what victory costs. The Tsar Bomba, October 30th, 1961. Soviet Union, 50 megatons, the largest nuclear device ever detonated, 3,300 times more powerful than the bomb that destroyed Hiroshima. The fireball was 8 kilometers wide. The shockwave circled the Earth 3 times. Windows shattered 900 kilometers away. The Soviet pilot who dropped it was awarded the Hero of the Soviet Union Medal and given a 50% survival probability before takeoff. It was never deployed operationally. The Soviets built it to prove they could. Its primary function was not military. It was psychological, a demonstration that the concept of too large did not exist in the Soviet arsenal. No nation has detonated anything comparable since. None has needed to. American arsenal. The B-61 nuclear gravity bomb. The most deployed nuclear weapon in US history. Variable yield, adjustable from 0.3 kilotons to 340 kilotons, depending on the mission. Approximately 100 currently forward deployed at NATO bases across Belgium, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, and Turkey. The B-6112 variant, entering service in 2023, added precision guidance, transforming a gravity bomb into a guided weapon. A nuclear weapon with a CEP of 30 meters. The psychological significance. Precision guidance implies usability. A weapon that can be aimed at a specific building is a weapon that planners can consider using. The B-6112 made the nuclear threshold lower, not by changing yield, but by changing accuracy. The Minuteman III, America's land-based ICBM. 440 deployed in hardened silos across Montana, North Dakota, and Wyoming. Range 13,000 kilometers. 3 independently targetable warheads. Flight time to Moscow, approximately 30 minutes. The Minuteman III entered service in 1970. It was scheduled to retire in 2030. Budget pressures in 2025 extended its service life to 2050. Meaning the United States will be defending itself with a missile designed during the Nixon administration until the middle of the 21st century. Its replacement, the LGM-35A Sentinel, has faced cost overruns exceeding 37%. America's nuclear deterrent runs on hardware older than most of its officers, the Trident II D5. America's submarine-launched ballistic missile, and the weapon most nuclear strategists consider the most survivable leg of the triad. Range 12,000 kilometers. 8 independently targetable warheads per missile. 14 Ohio-class submarines, each carrying up to 20 missiles. A submarine at sea is invisible. It cannot be targeted in a first strike. It cannot be destroyed before launch. The Trident II D5 is the weapon that makes a disarming first strike mathematically impossible. Because even if every land-based missile and every bomber were destroyed simultaneously, the submarines at sea would still deliver a retaliatory strike. It is not a weapon designed to win a nuclear war. It is designed to ensure no one tries to start one. The B-21 Raider, America's newest strategic bomber, entered service 2023, cost per aircraft approximately $750 million. Stealth geometry that makes it effectively undetectable to current air defense radar. Carries both conventional and nuclear weapons, including the B-6112. Range classified. The B-21 is the third leg of a triad that is being modernized simultaneously for the first time in American history. A $1.5 trillion program replacing every nuclear delivery system at once. Its existence sends a specific message. The United States is not reducing its nuclear capability, it is rebuilding it from scratch. Russian arsenal, the RS-28 Sarmat. Russia's newest heavy ICBM, 208 tons. Range unlimited. It can reach any target on Earth via any trajectory, including over the South Pole, where no missile defense systems are positioned. Up to 10 heavy warheads or 16 lighter ones. Designed specifically to defeat the American missile defense architecture. Putin unveiled it in 2018 with a presentation showing simulated strikes on Florida. It was not a military briefing, it was a political communication. By 2025, Russia had replaced nearly 90% of Soviet-era strategic systems with new platforms, including the Sarmat, a modernization program of unprecedented scale and speed. The Avangard Hypersonic glide vehicle. Launched atop an ICBM, it separates and glides through the upper atmosphere at Mach 27 to 33,000 kilometers per hour, while maneuvering unpredictably. No current missile defense system can intercept a target moving at that speed on an unpredictable trajectory. It carries a nuclear warhead. It entered service in 2019. The United States has no equivalent in operational service. Russia deployed it specifically as a response to American missile defense expansion, a weapon designed not to destroy cities, but to destroy the logic of missile defense itself. If interception is impossible, the deterrent is absolute. The Burevestnik nuclear cruise missile. A cruise missile powered by a nuclear reactor, giving it effectively unlimited range. It flies at low altitude, below radar coverage, on a trajectory that can circle the globe before striking. Russia's modernization program included the Burevestnik nuclear-powered cruise missile alongside the Poseidon torpedo. During testing, at least one prototype crashed and was not recovered for weeks, raising concerns about nuclear contamination at the test site that Russia did not publicly acknowledge. A weapon whose tests are themselves a radiological hazard. The Poseidon nuclear torpedo, an autonomous underwater vehicle powered by a nuclear reactor. Warhead, up to 100 megatons, the largest warhead on any operational weapon system in history. Poseidon is designed to generate radioactive tsunamis to attack coastal targets. It travels at depths and speeds beyond the reach of conventional anti-submarine systems. Its purpose is not to destroy military targets. It is designed to make entire coastlines uninhabitable through a combination of blast, tsunami, and long-term radiation contamination. The Poseidon is not a weapon of war. It is a weapon of civilizational punishment, designed to ensure that any nation contemplating a first strike against Russia understands that the retaliation would not be measured in military casualties. The Oreshnik. Russia's Oreshnik medium-range ballistic missile was originally deployed in 2024 and carries both conventional and nuclear warheads with hypersonic strike capability. First combat use, November 21st, 2024, against Dnipro, Ukraine. The first use of a hypersonic ballistic missile in combat in history. Russia fired it not to destroy a specific military target, but to demonstrate that it possessed a weapon NATO had no defense against. A weapon used in combat as a political demonstration. The line between battlefield weapon and strategic signal had officially ceased to exist. The Topol-M/Rs 24 Yars, Russia's mobile land-based ICBM. Mounted on a 16-wheel transporter erector launcher that can operate off-road, changing position continuously. It cannot be targeted in a preemptive strike because its location is never fixed. The Yars carries up to 4 independently targetable warheads. Russia operates hundreds of mobile launchers that move through forests and open country continuously. An entire nuclear arsenal that exists in perpetual motion, invisible to satellites, impossible to destroy on the ground. The weapon that made the concept of a disarming first strike against Russia as mathematically impossible as it is against America's submarine fleet. Chinese arsenal, the DF-41, China's most capable ICBM. Road mobile or silo-based. Range 14,000 kilometers, sufficient to reach any target in the United States. Up to 10 independently targetable warheads. China now possesses approximately 600 nuclear warheads and is the only NPT nuclear power significantly increasing its arsenal. The DF-41 is the centerpiece of that expansion. China built 300 new missile silos between 2020 and 2024, a construction program that Western intelligence agencies initially struggled to explain. The explanation was simple. China decided, quietly and without announcement, to triple its nuclear arsenal. The DF-61. China unveiled the mobile DF-61 ICBM at its 2025 Beijing anniversary celebrations, using an 8-axis airframe capable of carrying up to 10 warheads with a range of 12,000 to 15,000 kilometers. Its unveiling was itself a strategic communication, timed to the anniversary of the People's Republic, displayed publicly, photographed by every intelligence service in the world. China was not hiding its capability, it was announcing it. The most significant nuclear proliferation event of the decade occurred not in a classified facility, but on a public parade ground in central Beijing. The JL-3 submarine-launched ballistic missile, range exceeding 10,000 kilometers, deployed on China's Jin-class ballistic missile submarines, giving China for the first time a genuinely survivable second strike capability. A submarine at sea with JL-3 missiles cannot be destroyed in a first strike. China's nuclear triad, land, air, sea, became complete with the JL-3's deployment. The strategic implications were immediate. China joined the United States and Russia as the only nations capable of surviving a nuclear first strike and retaliating with certainty. The club that defines the nuclear order now has 3 permanent members instead of 2. The warhead, the W-88, America's most powerful deployed warhead, 475 kilotons, 32 times the yield of the bomb that destroyed Hiroshima. Carried by the Trident II D5, up to 8 per missile, up to 20 missiles per submarine. The mathematics of a single Ohio-class submarine at sea. One vessel, quietly moving through the ocean, carries the equivalent destructive force of 5,120 Hiroshima bombs. No crew member needs to know where they are. No enemy needs to know they exist. The W-88 is not a weapon in the traditional sense. It is the physical embodiment of a promise. The promise that civilization-ending retaliation is always possible, always ready, and always at sea.